Welcome to Still and Quiet. Tonight, we'll settle into a calm scene and let the night do what it does best. Before the story begins, take a moment to notice the temperature of your room. Not changing it, just noticing it. Notice the air on your skin, on your hands, on your face. Now notice where your body is supported: the bed, the couch, the air, the floor. You don't need to hold yourself up. Whatever is beneath you is already doing that work. If it feels comfortable, let your shoulders drop by a small amount. Not forcing them, just allowing them to settle. Let your jaw loosen slightly, your tongue resting wherever it wants to rest. And if thoughts are moving through your mind, you don't need to push them away. Just notice the next point of contact, the next place you feel supported, and let the rest pass by. When you're ready, we'll begin. Somewhere outside of time, or at least outside of urgency, there's a lake before dawn. You're already there, not arriving, not traveling, not trying to get anywhere. Just there, in a calm moment that doesn't require anything from you. The shore is still, the ground beneath you is steady. If you're sitting, you're sitting. If you're lying down, you're lying down. And either way, the body can stop negotiating with the day. The air is cool, but not sharp. The kind of cool that feels clean, like a quiet rinse for the mind. The lake is wide enough that you don't instinctively measure it. You don't think about distance. You don't think about the other side. You simply accept that it's there and that it isn't asking to be understood. Above the water, the sky is dark, but thinning, not bright yet, not awake yet, just beginning to change in a way that doesn't demand attention. There's no dramatic sunrise coming, not in this story, not in this moment. Only a gradual softening, as if the night is slowly unclenching its hands. You can watch it if you want, or you can simply know the lake is there, continuing quietly, whether you watch or not. The surface of the lake is mostly smooth, not perfectly flat, but calm enough that it feels like one continuous thing. In places, the water holds reflections, not crisp reflections, not mere perfect, but soft reflections that look as though they've been brushed lightly with a cloth. You might notice how the water doesn't try to keep an image. It doesn't cling to it, it holds it and releases it and holds it again. A small ripple moves across the surface. It isn't dramatic. It isn't meaningful. It's simply a ripple. The kind of movement that happens when a world is still alive, but not busy. The ripple widens as it travels. It becomes less like a line and more like a suggestion. And then it's gone, not because it ended, but because it blended back into the lake. There's something quietly comforting about that. Nothing has to finish with a sharp edge. Things can just blend. The water continues, calm, unhurried. If your mind offers a thought, you can let it be a ripple too, a small movement, spreading out, softening, and blending back into quiet. You don't have to force it away. You don't have to solve it. It can simply lose its shape. The lake doesn't react. It doesn't tense. It doesn't brace itself against the day. It remains what it is. The shore remains what it is. The air remains what it is. And you, for this moment, can remain what you are. There may be a faint line of mist over part of the water, not thick fog, just a thin softness, a veil that makes the lake feel even more distant from the rest of the world. Mist doesn't hurry either. It drifts, or it rests, and it changes without needing to announce the change. If you look at the edge where the water meets the shore, there's no harsh border. It's a gentle meeting place. Water touching land again and again without conflict. Small sounds might exist there. A faint lap, a soft tap of water against a stone, a quiet, repeating rhythm. Not loud enough to count, not sharp enough to track, just enough to remind you that the world is steady. The lake continues, smooth, open, and patient. The quiet near a lake is particular kind of quiet. It's not complete silence. It's a quiet made of small things spread far apart. The air might move gently, not in gusts, not in sudden changes, just a slow, almost unnoticed movement. If there are trees nearby, they don't sway much. They stand, they hold their shape. They remain part of the stillness. You might hear one distant sound, and then nothing for a while. A bird far away, not singing brightly, just making a brief sound, as if checking whether the day is ready. Then quiet again. You don't need to name anything. You don't need to identify the sound. You don't need to locate where it came from. You can simply let it exist and let it pass. The air feels clean in a way that's hard to describe without trying too hard. So you don't try too hard. You simply notice that the breath feels uncomplicated, in and out, without needing to be managed. If you notice your breathing at all, It can be by the way you notice the lake, present, steady, not demanding your focus. The lake doesn't require attention. The air doesn't require attention. The night doesn't require attention. And you don't need to give more attention than you have. There is enough quiet here that you can stop listening for the next thing. You don't have to anticipate. You don't have to be ready. You can simply rest in the spaces between sounds. Before dawn, time feels different. It stretches, it loosens, it stops behaving like a tool. Nothing is asking to be measured. The sky might be changing, but not in a way that needs your attention. Dark becoming slightly less dark, as if the night is slowly turning down its volume. If you look upward, you might see only a few stars now, or maybe none. Either way is fine. This isn't a scene about seeing clearly. It's a scene about being allowed not to see clearly. You might notice that your thoughts feel slightly farther away, not gone, just farther. Like lights across the water, present, but not close enough to matter. If a thought comes up, something from earlier, something from tomorrow, something unfinished, you can let it be one of those distant lights. visible but not reachable. And because it isn't reachable, it doesn't need to be handled tonight. The lake continues, the air continues, the early morning continues. Nothing needs a decision from you. The body can start to behave as if sleep is allowed, not forced, allowed. You don't have to aim for sleep. You don't have to check whether it's working. You can simply stay near this calm lake and let the night carry the rest. The water remains smooth. And open. And quiet. A small ripple comes. Widens. And blends back in. The air feels cool. And clean. And steady. The sky remains dark but soft. You don't have to watch. You don't have to listen closely. You can let the lake stay where it is and let your attention drift away from it. The quiet continues. Patiently, without asking anything from you. And the lake remains still and open as the night continues on its own, and you can rest whenever you're ready.